What's going on? We back. Goodfellas Sports TV with some more breaking news, I would guess. It's a story we've been following closely, so definitely had to follow up with it. I'll put an article in the description so you know that it's real, trill, whatever you want to say, adjective you want to use. And Carmelo Anthony and Houston Rockets have parted ways. They have not waived Carmelo Anthony, cut Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony will just be paid to stay away right now from the basketball team, from the practice facility. So basically they parted ways. That's why you won't hear him being waived or being cut. He's just going to be getting a check to stay away. And the method behind that madness is maybe, an injury may happen where a roster spot might open up or some playing time might open up for him. I'm not 100% clear on why they not getting trade. Just cut him. I guess they feel like they may get an asset for him. Okay, they may can trade him, but right now, if that's the case, you will want to showcase him on your team. So you hear Steven Jackson. Okay, let's take it to this point. You hear Steven Jackson saying that they blackballing Carmelo out the league. I wasn't one to believe that. Especially when you listened last year, you heard Carmelo Anthony say at the Oklahoma City Thunder press conference, he was introduced like, I ain't coming off the bench. Now he said, I'll come off the bench. I'll do whatever. I just want to win and be a team player. And it seemed like he came in Houston with the right mindset. And Mike D'Antoni don't like him, okay? We know that, from back in New York or whatever it may be. It does seem like there is some type of coup or whatever schism in the locker room, or it's some type of organized thing to try to get Carmelo Anthony out of the Houston Rockets. I don't see Carmelo Anthony being a problem to affect the Houston Rockets to the point that they have this type of record. When Carmelo Anthony was not in the lineup, I still don't see where this team improved, okay? It's like, dang, okay, Melo gone, they look a lot better. And it seems like they're trying to make Carmelo Anthony a scapegoat. It seems like Carmelo Anthony world is crashing down. And I really didn't know Carmelo Anthony, I didn't know him to be a locker room cancer. Okay. I know on the court, he's a very ball dominant guy, very offensive mind type of guy. His game reminded me of Bernard King, the old Knicks legend. On the court, he was seen as very, very selfish, needed to be ISO, needed to have the ball and be ball dominant. That is true. Okay. But it seemed like in Houston, he really tried to fit in. Like, in the preseason, when he, did what he usually do, go to the 3-point line, he dribbled to get in rhythm and took a 2 instead of a 3 and said, my fault. It seemed like he was really trying to fit in Houston. It just seems like for some reason, the Rockets just didn't want him there. Okay. And it seemed like, I don't know if Chris Paul or James Harden came out to defend him, but they hadn't come out and defend him. I know Chris Paul said something, excuse me. But obviously, I really don't know. The deep ins and outs. I don't know if it was a locker room schism. I don't know if it was a fight in the locker room or he was just being rebellious, during practice or being rebellious towards Mike D'Antoni. But for 10 games, just 10 games, they already cut Carmelo Anthony. That's crazy. That's crazy. And, back to Captain Jack, Steven Jackson saying that they trying to blackball him. They did him the same way. Obviously, Allen Iverson had the same type of mindset, and Stephon Marbury kind of, got himself out the league after the KG stuff. Then, New York, Phoenix. New Jersey, Phoenix, New York. And I just don't understand it. Carmelo Anthony went from being a very, very prominent star in this league to basically the Rockets telling me that Marquise Chris. Even the guy, let me just take it back. I'll name these guys real quick. Marquise Chris, Gerald Green, PJ Tucker. They got the old boy that played for the Lions on the bench. Played for the Pistons, on the bench as well from Kentucky. I can't remember his name. Brandon, whatever. They got dunked on by DeAndre Jordan. He was so terrible in Detroit. I hated that guy. But, they got all these guys on the bench. He ain't played this year yet neither. Michael Carter Williams. But you telling me that Carmelo Anthony ain't better than none of them on your bench, on your team. I don't understand that. You can't tell me that Melo, you can't find a way to use Melo. And Mike D'Antoni, he ain't never been able to make no adjustments. Mike D'Antoni is a one-trick pony. Once people catch on to his system, he don't make an adjustment. He don't make defensive. He don't know nothing about defense. He don't know how to run a set in the half court. All he knows is get up the court, shoot a shot under 7 seconds or under, and that's his offense. That's his offense. That's all he know. So he couldn't incorporate his style with Melo's style in New York. So why did Houston think this was a good idea? I'm pretty sure he wasn't okay with this move with Carmelo Anthony coming to Houston. I'm pretty sure. So, what's next for Melo? Carmelo Anthony? Who will want Carmelo Anthony? Like I say, I thought about it. I don't think it's a fit in Philly, okay? I don't think that's a fit. I'm gonna renege on that one. I was wrong. The only thing I can think about is Golden State Warriors, man. That's the only team that I think that's 100%. Well, that's a 90%, chance to really work. Seriously, that's the only team place I can really think. If you want to win at this point in his career, that's the only place I think it can work, man. A lot of people say the Lakers, possibly, but they having their own chemistry issues right now. You look at the Celtics. You did the video about the Celtics. They have a log jam at the three spot, and they got some guys that do what Carmelo do. Baines, and he's stretching it out now, and Marcus Morris, Markieff, whichever Morris it is, he does the same thing. But yeah, man, I just don't believe Carmelo Anthony ain't better than 50% of players in the league right now. Okay, I just don't believe that to be true. Okay, I heard the Pistons may have some interest in Carmelo Anthony, but they straight made it seem like Carmelo Anthony was the reason. They made it seem like Carmelo Anthony was the reason for the Houston Rockets nosedive. Now, I want to see, okay, what the Rockets do to fill Ariza, to fill Luke Sharp Mabute position at the defender position. Okay. I want to see what they do to try to fill Carmelo Anthony, what moves they can make. Because truth be told, Eric Gordon ain't been playing like nothing this season either. He ain't been playing like nothing. James Harden, he ain't been his usual self neither. So we're going to put all this on Carmelo Anthony. This ain't got nothing to do, okay? I'm not saying it's true. But this ain't got nothing to do with Mike D'Antoni not making no adjustments from year to year and the NBA adjusting to what the Rockets do. This ain't got nothing to do with Chris Paul perhaps being older. This ain't got nothing to do with maybe James Harden is a little bit out of shape this season after having several years of deep playoff runs. This ain't got nothing to do with that. They need to look at their coach. Real talk. They need to look at their coach. Because a lot of them dudes over there, they ain't playing up to par. Eric Gordon ain't playing how he usually play. They ain't got all that bench depth that they had. Especially with Eric Gordon not playing. Lewis Williams gone. All that they traded for Chris Paul. Chris Paul, he ain't playing like he usually play. James Harden, and it's only been 10 to whatever 13 games they got right now. 10 games since Melo left. Since that Melo ain't been back. So you telling me Melo is the problem for all of that? Melo stopped James Harden from being on point this season. Or is James Harden party hard this season, or he just ain't in shape, or he dealing with an injury? And Chris Paul old, but they got nothing to do with Mike D'Antoni not being able to make adjustments out there. Tell you, he's a lame duck coach, man. I'm telling you, he ain't made no adjustment. He cannot adjust. In today's game of coaching, you need to be able to adjust to your personnel. He cannot. If he can't go up the floor and run and gun up the floor all day, and it become playoff time, it's a half-court game, you might as well, it's over with. He can't adjust. But way to blame Melo for this one, man. I'm side with Melo with this. This is malarkey right here, man. But it's Goodfella Sports TV. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, listening in. Don't forget, we on Facebook and Twitter. Also, Facebook group. All those links in the description. Also, want to know where the intro music came from. That link's there as well. You can email me, reach out to me as well. You want to make a donation to the channel. That link's there as well. You do me one better. Share these videos across social media with friends that talk sports. We gone.